A large retail store just canceled a huge order, leaving us with a ton of extra My Pillows. But you know what? That's their loss. I'm going to make it your gain. For the first time ever, you get standard classic My Pillows for wholesale prices, only $14.88. I can't believe I'm even saying that. Only $14.88. But it gets even better. For a limited time, I'm going to offer my entire classic collection at wholesale prices. Upgrade to a queen size My Pillow for just $18.88. King size only $1 more. Get my body pillows for $29.88 and multi-use My Pillows for only $9.88. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on the screen. Use your promo code to take advantage of wholesale pricing for the first time ever on TV, including my standard size My Pillow, only $14.88. They've never been offered this low before. We have limited quantities at this price, so limit's going to be 10, and once they're gone, they're gone.
This is Chris Ruddy, and I love Gene Valentino's Grassroots Truth Cast. Make sure you're tuning in just like I do every day, every week, every minute.
Gene, good morning. Welcome to the program. It seems to me that President Trump is gaining some momentum. But when you look at the national polls, it's still relatively close. Given that Trump has the lead when it comes to the key issues, whether it be the economy or whether it be the border, why is this election close at this point?
Yeah, the premise is wrong, and I don't believe the polls.
No, well, that's a good point.
There's a whole science behind poll analysis that goes undiscussed with the media. And I'm not picking on anyone here. I'm talking in general. It goes back to 2016, 2020. How can Donald Trump be neck and neck, 49-47, 51-49? We hear this horse race going on, it seems. And yet in the streets, in the neighborhoods, in the back streets of the nation, Trump signs are everywhere. In fact, recent reports show they're appearing in the neighborhoods in Massachusetts, where a blue state as it is, you would never think there'd be Trump, an insurgence of Trump support developing. It's going nationwide. I would like to investigate why the polls do not reflect reality.
Yeah, it does seem that way when I speak to people out on the streets too. You are right there. Let's play a clip, though, from Kamala Harris's town hall interview on Univision this week. She's talking about the storm relief. Listen.
The administration didn't do enough in terms of relief for families affected by hurricane. What would your administration do differently in the case of Milton?
Well, first of all, thank you for the question. I hope your family is okay and your home is okay.
The Army.
Okay. So there has been a lot of mis and disinformation about what we have been doing over the last 2 weeks and what we are going to do going forward. And I have to stress that this is not a time for people to play politics.
Okay, Liz, I will come to you in a moment. But, Gene, I just want to come to you first on this because you're a Florida guy. What do you make of the response there?
She should stay out of the way of Ron DeSantis, who's done an epic job, a historically fantastic job in the recovery process in Florida. And thanks for your reporting there as well. The fact of the matter is, he mobilized a National Guard. He created synergy and positive spirit of camaraderie of spirit amongst all the different aspects of search and recovery and restoration. I used to be a commander of the search and rescue dive team in Florida in my earlier life, and I will tell you, a team-spirited approach when the emergency is underway and you're looking for dead bodies is an adrenaline rush that's not realized by most. And all of those responders were at the scene ready to go 24/7 for days straight without sleep.
Liz, as we know, Vice President Harris has a huge money advantage. I think she's raised something like $1 billion since she was announced. How can Trump overcome that huge and significant money advantage? Do you see that happening?
Well, look, President Trump has the money of the people. He has real donations, small donations. It's fueled his campaign over and over again. I mean, we need an investigation of the polls. I think we need an investigation of this influx of cash as well. You've had people exposing, they call them Smurf donors, just over and over and over again. It looks like money laundering. That people say you knock on their door, they never donated. It's unbelievable. But back to the hurricane response. First of all, that question, this is their administration. So if you're asking for something different, you're not going to get it. People will be left to die. American citizens will be put last. Countries all over the world get our assistance. And yet Kamala Harris goes down, actually plays politics. They fill a 17 full of supplies, and they never sent the plane. It was all for a photo op wow. for Kamala Harris. That is a disgrace. They should be kicked out of office. If we had a real media outside networks like this, that would be career ending. What they've done with Nashville, what they've done with Tennessee, North Carolina, all these states that have been so horribly affected. And they did nothing for the American people, and yet gave all of our money to illegal aliens.
Yeah.
It's, terrible. She was also on The View this week as well, talking about herself compared to Biden.
Shocking.
Take a listen.
Well, if anything, would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes mind in terms of, and I've been a part of most of the decisions that have had impact.
All right, I'm going to give you both 30 seconds on this. Gene, I can already see you shaking your head, so I'm going to have to come to you first on this one.
Well, it's clear that she's unburdened by the passage of time. She's absolutely got the priorities mixed up. She was in for a photo op with DeSantis to bolster a campaign, while Senator Rubio and Senator Rick Scott and a cluster of congressmen, men and women, were on the scene readying Florida 2 days before the catastrophe occurred. And she was nowhere to be found and hadn't been, according to DeSantis, 3 years prior. I think she needs to take a pass.
Liz, what about you? 30 seconds.
I mean, all the amount of airbrushing and editing can never escape the fact that this woman cannot even do a softball interview. How could she lead the greatest nation on earth? And on October 7th, she was doing a photo shoot with Vogue magazine.
Wow.
And that just tells you exactly what her priorities are. They're trying to make this image of someone who, as President Trump said, never received a single vote for president. This whole thing is a fraud.
It's a great word, fraud.
Yeah. Gene Valentino, Liz Harrington, thank you both so much for joining us. We appreciate your insight.
What they did with her, I believe, is the biggest scandal broadcast history. I do. If that were me right now, I probably wouldn't be allowed to speak. They'd have me tied up someplace like, sir, would you come this way, please? And when you think about it, I've been investigated more than Alphonse Capone, right? He was a killer. If he didn't like you, he would immediately kill you. I've had more investigations. These are corrupt people that we're dealing with. But what happens is this, what CBS did and 60 Minutes did, think of it. Her answers were terrible because she's only, and I say it very respectfully, she's not a smart person.
Entertainer.
I can't stop laughing at they're just going to lock him up and take him away for answering
You already had a
question
mugshot or two, so.
Oh, wow. That was Donald Trump speaking in Reno, Nevada last night, commenting on the fallout from Kamala Harris's 60 Minutes interview last week. On at least 2 occasions, clips of the interview show Harris giving different answers to the same question, and they were shown on different platforms. Now, Trump claims that this is clear evidence of CBS protecting Harris with the clever editing techniques. So let's bring in our Saturday panel again to discuss. We have GOP political strategist and former county commissioner at Escambia County, Florida, Gene Valentino, and former Trump spokesperson Liz Harrington. Thank you both for sticking around for the second hour. Liz, CBS has said that the editing techniques are standard procedure for cross-promoting interviews across different platforms. So what do you make of that whole thing there?
Well, I think it is standard procedure for them to be a propaganda outlet, just like all the other mainstream broadcast networks. I mean, this is absurd. And again, proves President Trump right to not do another interview with 60 Minutes after the last time when Leslie Stahl completely lied on the behalf of the Biden regime and the 50 fake intel agents who said that the Hunter laptop was Russian disinformation when they knew it wasn't. She said, oh, it can't be verified. Well, it was her job to verify it, in which we know they wouldn't do that because it was so damning to the dealings of the Biden family in selling out this country. That was election interference, and so is this. And when you cut a answer to try to make her coherent, which is impossible to do, by the way, to air on the actual show when the majority of the people are going to see it. There's no other way to go around it. This was election interference.
Gene, with this campaign, are we seeing a Hollywood production or are we actually seeing a real campaign? I think the CBS 60 Minutes points in one direction, but what are your thoughts?
I don't understand why more people don't understand that there's a dual system. We know it's a dual system of justice and selective prosecution, and now we're witnessing firsthand a dual system of journalism. But to Liz's point, here's something I keep handy. This is the New York Post just 2 years ago, March 2022, showing the spies who lie. Some 51 people, including James Clapper and John Brennan, head of the CIA, who have been complicit in steering a narrative to promote a candidate, which is election interference. If they're now trying to normalize bad behavior at CBS, NBC, and ABC, and claim that these dualities, these two pathways of reporting are okay. The question I ask is, will the American people be so numbed by this insanity and they begin to accept it? I pray not, I hope not. We need to get back to normalcy, and Liz Harrington brought that out.
I'm loving the encouragement between the two of you here. You're really bouncing off each other, and it's nice to see everyone play so nice in the sandpit. Liz, actually, no, you had a question, didn't you?
Sure, yes. So Liz, as we're looking at this, do you think the American people are actually going to fall for this type of media charade?
I don't think so. The American people are incredibly smart, and President Trump has proven this. I mean, look at everything they've thrown at him, literally up to bullets and 2 assassination attempts, right? They've tried everything they could to ruin him, to bankrupt him and smear him. And yet his movement is stronger than ever before. They know they can't beat him fair and square. They know it. So the media has lost all credibility. They cannot fabricate another campaign. I mean, the American people are just too smart. They're not going to believe it. So I absolutely do not think it's working. And that's why they're so desperate.
Thanks so much, you guys. Gene Valentino, Liz Harrington, thanks to you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you both.
Thanks,
We
guys.
appreciate it.
Great being with you.
Throughout history, the spirit of patriotism has prevailed. The battles may have changed, but the values remain the same. Today, in 2024, we find ourselves at a pivotal moment where the call for unity, freedom, and a better future echoes louder than ever.
For more than 10 years, Patriot Mobile has been committed to supporting the values
that make our nation great. With affordable plans and reliable nationwide coverage, Patriot Mobile is not just a wireless service. It's a call to action for those who believe in the American dream. Because this year is not just any year, It's the most important year since our nation's founding. Choose a wireless carrier that shares your values. Choose Patriot Mobile.
Hi, my name is Glenn Story. I'm the founder and CEO of Patriot Mobile. I'd love for you to learn more about Patriot Mobile, www.patriotmobile.com/Gene V. More importantly, I'd like you to be a subscriber to his show. I mean, his Truthcast is amazing. And if you get to listen to some of them, you'll never go back. I really encourage you to come watch it.